Or overrated. Today we're gonna be reviewing or slash debating Spider-Man: No Way Home. I'm here with Max, Lari,
Yo.
and Adrian, and we got cameraman in the back, Axel.
Axel.
Alright. So, to my left is Max, and he hated Spider-Man.
No, I didn't. I didn't hate it. I just thought it could have been better. Like I
Okay.
We'll get into his points later.
Why?
Wait, okay, let's go to Lari.
And then I personally love the MCU and Spider-Man, so very good. And this dude.
I agree with Max. I think they could have done it way better than it.
Bro, what?
They could have done it way better.
Why? It's literally perfect.
okay, this is why we're here
And
talking about
this.
this.
We start.
Okay, well, hold on. Let's talk about like the first thing that nobody really talks about, and well, I mean, like we agree that the story is kind of corny, right?
Yeah.
We.
Oh, me and
Me
Adrian, we agree that the overall my enemies, they know my life, they know who I am. Now people I love, who I care for, are in danger. Please erase everyone's memory so that no one knows I'm Spider-Man. That's sort of alright, that'd be like decently, but then he starts kind of like putting his own spin on the spell, right? So he says, don't forget to not erase the memory of his girlfriend, Ned, Aunt May, and I believe Happy, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so there was kind of where like, okay, but like, it's gonna like, it might not be what you expect, right? But even at that, like, because of that little twist you want to do on the spell, the other enemies, what would you call them, like?
Villains. Well,
yeah, the other villains, right?
Yeah.
The other villains in the different universes of the Spider-Man started, how did they appear, though?
I know that makes no sense.
Okay,
so he wants.
They came through a portal.
Yeah, I know, but how does that even work? So I kind of mess with the spell, making that like wants to make everyone forget about Spider-Man.
Okay.
Now all of a sudden, these dudes from like multiple different universes are coming through a portal.
Okay, it's because if you know anything about Doctor Strange or like the magic in the MCU,
Right.
like once a spell is tweaked or messed with, it can do the opposite of what you're trying to do, if that makes sense. Since he was trying to make everyone forget, and they messed up the spell, it brought in people who know Peter Parker instead of forgetting Peter Parker.
Oh.
Peter Parker. So that's how that happened, and I guess you could like context clues. Like if you ever watch Into the Spider-Verse with Miles Morales, you know how they were brought into like with portals. I'm assuming that's what happened with the villains.
Yeah, I know, but that's also like something that I was gonna say that. Wait, like me and Max agree that the story is like kind of, corny. But like let's not like ignore that the idea of it is not really all that original either.
I mean,
because Into the Spider-Verse came out like a couple years before.
What was it, like 2017?
2017, 2018, like at
okay,
least that
no,
time.
but the reason why it's like that is for the continuous movies on how the Spider-Mans and like the dimensions are like colliding, because this is all part of the MCU comic books. So making similar situations means that everything's just gonna come together like later.
So you're saying
Like
that,
it's all happening. Like
so you're saying that the cartoon Miles Morales will show up in human
form in the MCU.
into Tom Holland's Spider-Man?
it's
Question mark?
there can be more than one universe, if that makes sense. They obviously try to explain that to us.
Mm-hmm.
Right. There can be two universes where there's like one's like the Miles Morales cartoon and one's like real life Miles Morales. So that can happen.
Oh, my question is, you think they'll ever like collide?
It could happen.
I think they would, dude. This one made like $1 billion in
That's
the first
why.
week, right? Dude, they're gonna do it. They're definitely gonna.
Wait, I also have a question, something to say. How does Electro know that?
You see, okay,
Yeah.
that's a different conversation.
How does it-
I want to know that too.
It's because we were talking about it and y'all didn't let me talk.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, talk.
No, the Electro thing.
Yeah, no, like that's a good point. I don't know what it is, I don't. Okay, because you guys know like the multiverse theory, right?
Yes.
You know how in those universes where like Green Goblin and Doc Ock, they haven't died yet. Those are just like parallel universes to the Raimi films, right? But they're different universes, right? If like so, like let's say there's another universe with us doing the exact same thing, except it's only about like 10 minutes beforehand, like 10 minutes before we start recording. That's like the multiverse theory. There's some where like it's the complete opposite, and there's some where it's the exact same, just like a little bit ahead and a little bit tweaked. So in this Electro one, this is probably like a couple years after he's fought the Amazing Spider-Man, right? That's probably like a couple years after the movie, and he probably like learned it over time. Like that's like the whole multiverse.
Yeah,
theory.
because they're all taken away from different like time.
Yeah,
too.
so like they're very similar, the multiverses, but
Right.
Alright, what are we talking about?
Alright, okay, so let's bring up the first thing. Alright, so we all like love the original movies, like first 5 movies, even though they got their own problems, of course, right? Now let's talk about one of my biggest complaints. I feel like they didn't do any of the villains besides Green Goblin justice. I feel like
you feel like the main villain was Green Goblin?
The main villain was Green Goblin and his 4 goons. Alright, like that's what I felt, because Doc Ock, he was kind of serious, but the thing is, they just, like, I hate the Disney Channel humor, where they just, like, turned him into a joke, right? Like, pretty much every line he said was, like, a comedic, like, look at this old guy, right? It seemed like so out of touch with everything, right? Because that was literally his whole character. He doesn't know that he's in a different universe, so they tried to use that humor. I feel like his lines just didn't do him any justice. They were, like, trying to...
Doc Ock's
memes. And then let's talk about Electro. I don't know what they were doing with him. Right, where it's like the energy feels
different,
right? And he's like,
I like it.
Yeah, he likes it. I'm like, okay, you know, that's sort of like an Electro thing to do. The lizard, he's just there in the background, right?
Poor lizard, bro.
He does nothing, dude.
He's like more of an iguana, bro.
And then the biggest one is Sandman. So Sandman's whole story is that he got pulled into this universe that he doesn't want to be in, and he just wants to go home. Alright? And Green Goblin and Electro, they both want to stay in this universe, you know, just to do their own villainous things or whatever, right? So why would the Sandman team up with them? Yeah, if he's trying to go back home and they're trying to
he didn't
stay.
really team up with them. He was kind of on his own.
He just happens to be fighting them like at the exact same time, I guess. You know, you want to say that?
I get what you're saying about that. And it doesn't make sense as to why Sandman basically followed the Spider-Man when they were trying to make him go home, but
Because like his whole story makes no sense, you know.
Sandman.
Yeah, Sandman's story.
Yeah, I guess. You could just say like he's like a throwing character.
Yeah,
it was not. I do believe because a lot of the movie was like nostalgic. I think it was just brought back for this nostalgic feeling.
Yeah, and like that's something like I thought to myself, you know how like the story is very similar to Into the Spider-Verse. I feel like I mean yeah, of course, but the thing is like Into the Spider-Verse, I feel like the villains, you know, actually kind of have motivation, especially Kingpin. Yeah, he's trying to bring in his wife and daughter.
Right. Something like very deep, honestly. Like that's like something that he like truly believes in, like with this like reactor, right? Something reactor.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna turn back time to like stop that from happening, stop that from beginning in the crash, right?
Yeah.
But then we look at No Way Home, right? And it's just for my personal reasons, like right, like.
But he is just like 17 years old. He's just a child who is scared because like his life is on the line more than it's ever been because everyone knows his identity.
Yeah, but don't you think that he's like a little bit stupid?
Oh, he is just a kid.
I know, but like let's think about this. All right, so you're a teenager. Your life has just been ruined, obviously, right? Now you want to like talk to this wizard. Right? You're like. Are you gonna at least, you know, think about it a little bit, even though it might like put everyone else's lives in jeopardy? Yeah, Dr. Strange. Yeah.
Oh, I rewatched Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
And the only reason he did it is because he also says hasn't the kid been through enough, so that's why he did it.
What?
Hasn't the kid been through it now?
Yeah, no, he lost Tony Stark.
Yeah, I know.
And he doesn't even want him like more weight on his shoulders with them. They know them. All the people know Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know, but that's so
It just
not
goes off, but it all goes back to just like he's just a kid.
But it also goes back to like Doctor Strange is kind of very out of character here. Because
Okay, I will agree. He is out of character.
yeah, like Doctor Strange is like the entire MCU in his own movie and in Infinity War he's like been self-aware.
Oh yeah, he's very powerful. What do you call it? Character. Yeah, like he has like powerful magic, robe, everything. And this kid, 17 years old, beats him in his own like what do you call it?
His own weird dimension.
Right, exactly. Like what? Like and then this dude just says it's what is it called? It's geometry or something like that.
Yeah, no, but
It was strange to see Doctor Strange get like beaten by
Right.
yeah, no, and like it's also why would he do this? You know, even Wong, like the entire MCU has kind of just been like a joke character. Like even Wong knows that doing this is gonna be like it's gonna have like some severe consequences. And Doctor Strange is gonna pretty much make a risk with this just because Peter, you know, his life has been ruined. That is not Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange does not care about like one kid's life or whatever when he can put like the whole multiverse like in jeopardy. Like why would he do this? You know, I get that he's probably close to Peter, but he did tell Tony Stark that if it meant you dying to protect the stone, I will let him kill you. He did say that in Infinity War, so.
How do you fight that? Tell me.
Yeah.
The movie could have been thought about better, maybe more creative.
They changed a lot
I
of
mean,
scenes.
there does have to be plot.
Oh,
Yeah.
going through Max thing, he said, why did Ned use the portal right if he doesn't know magic? There have been information.
Oh, right, in the where they stayed, right?
Because instead of Ned, it was going to be a new MCU character.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I forgot her name. What was the name?
Oh, America Chavez?
Yeah.
Wait,
She was going to bring them back, but...
She's the one with like the jean jacket and like the star on her back?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta be honest with you. Everyone who reads her comics doesn't like her, so.
Yeah.
Is that why they took it out?
Yeah.
Probably.
So instead of-
She's not a fan favorite.
Yeah.
And then now Ned is...
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
I kind of get it, but
I kind of like that. I just don't like that they kind of, I don't know, nerfed Doctor Strange just to make him more special.
Who Ned?
Oh,
I
I
get
get
what
they
you
nerfed so many people.
I know, but like that doesn't, we can't just let him get away with it. You know, we gotta call him out.
No, yeah, I miss Ned being the little like guy behind like.
Yeah.
So wait, what's it called? Spoiler. Obviously, this has a lot of spoilers. But when everything pretty much resets and no one knows Peter Parker, Ned doesn't know he has these abilities. So.
Ned doesn't even know he's
So true. I forgot that.
Ned
Are you
knows.
sure though?
Well, he could figure it out, maybe. Okay, then again, he's like super genius. We can't
Right.
forget about that.
Wait, but I mean, the only reason he's like comes in contact with Strange is because of Peter, and since he doesn't know Peter anymore, I don't think he'll ever figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang, that's a lost superhero. Lost superhero.
Yeah.
Yo,
Ned could be a superhero.
But then again,
Turn villain?
them originally wanting another hero, so instead of making this long-term story arc for Ned, they could have just been like, oh, he found out he has this, he forgets.
Yeah.
They could pursue more with it, with the Spider-Man, like, thing of, like, their best friend going evil. They can continue that since Ned doesn't know him.
Right.
But I'm not sure if they would, so.
Right. Ned's intentions are to be. I don't know. To be what was that word? To be seen. To be announced.
You know?
He revealed.
Exactly.
Alright, so I feel like me and Max made our points about, you know, the story being kind of whack. Now we need to hear from you two.
Yeah. What makes it your favorite?
Yeah. Wait. So hold on. Let's on the scale from favorites to like not favorite, right?
Spider-Man movies or MCU movies?
Spider-Man movies. Let's just do Spider-Man movies. Alright, George, what did you rank it?
What?
Yeah, like is it your favorite Spider-Man movie, second favorite?
Yes.
Well, it is, right?
Wait.
Okay. Is it your first like?
Like number one Spider-Man movie, number
Like,
two, number three. What is it?
Number one.
It's
That's
your
your
number
number
one.
one? That's your number one.
No, Lari, what about you?
It's number 2.
What's number one?
Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2.
Is that
That's
your
where
band?
it comes up.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's, okay, yeah. Alright, so, George, why is it your favorite Spider-Man movie?
Because all the Spider-Man come back in that movie.
You sound like a little kid.
Because they do, dude. I grew up watching the movies. Of course, you know, like everyone's gonna get
Okay.
hyped.
Lari, back him up.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. It's a really, really good movie, and I love the way they brought back the Spider-Man. I guess that's how you would say that. Yeah, it was very nostalgic for people who did grow up on Spider-Man, because I know I did. So I know how that feels. Just I can't like really explain it. It's just something that's like
An experience?
literally crazy. Yeah, to see all the Spider-Man like together.
We would never like thought of that. I mean,
Yeah, especially since we were kids, we were just like watching these things, and we're like, oh, my hero.
Mm.
and then seeing everyone's hero into one movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry.
On when you were watching, or when you heard about the movie?
When you were watching it, like seeing them all together, it was just like.
Like when the first trailer came out and I saw Greek on the Rock, I was
Yeah.
like,
You got emotional?
bro, I started screaming. And then, you know, with all like leaks and everything, I love that. You got more hype.
Mhm.
But at the end, I was like, nah, I doubt they'll leave the movie. And then when you
okay.
see him on big screen, waiting like a month for it to come out.
And then you're like,
And
shit.
then you're like, oh!
Okay, let's talk about another thing. This isn't really the movie's fault, the writers or actors. It's kind of like Sony and Disney's fault.
Oh.
Let's talk about
Let's
how terrible the promoting was for the movie.
Dude, yeah.
They were releasing like 50-second clips.
That's the only part I hate that.
Yeah, like they showed like the bridge fight scene with Peter and Doc Ock. They revealed so much. It's like, oh my goodness. I feel
They
like
did, like, reveal a lot, yeah.
I feel like they're kind of making it obvious that what's their names, Andrew and Toby were gonna be in the movie, and I feel like they just kind of kept it more mysterious and more, you know, like.
But then again, everything's just
Yeah.
marketing. Like,
Yeah, I know, but I feel like they just kind of kept it more mysterious. More people would have wanted to watch it, because like let me tell you something. Like some people I knew, like they knew that Toby and Andrew were gonna come out, so they didn't even care about watching it, right?
Right.
Like they kind of thought, yeah, if they're gonna come out, then this story's probably gonna be rushed, so I'm not even gonna bother to watch it. I feel like they did lose a lot of viewers like that. I feel like if they promoted the movie correctly, it could have surpassed Endgame.
Right, could have been like, oh, I
Or,
didn't know.
because they could have just been in the middle of just wanting people to watch it just because it's a new movie. Because I know people who watched it and they're like, oh my god, it was so good. Who are those people? And I'm like, bruh. But I guess just them seeing that trailer, they're like, oh, that's cool, that's cool. Oh, I know Spider-Man. Who are these?
Yeah.
I think that could be like a factor to why they did that.
Let's see, right. Back to the crying part when you saw the trailer, bro. Who cried for Anime?
Who cried for me?
Who cried for Anime?
Okay.
I'll be honest. I didn't cry like I teared up a little bit.
I cried, not when Aunt May died, but Happy's reaction.
Oh,
yeah.
I cried then because not only he's lost Tony Stark, he also lost Aunt May. That's the same thing for Spider-Man from when he lost, but just Happy seeing it just like made me
Right. That made like your heart like.
Yeah.
And seeing like Anne like pretend that she's fine, but she really is.
Oh, yeah. She's like, I'm fine. And then she's like, she looks down and then she sees the blood. Yeah, and then Peter's like trying to like, what do you call it? Like,
calm her down.
right, she's like, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna be okay. But then the swap pulls up, right? Like, and they think Peter's like the villain, right?
Yeah, they think Peter did something. Yeah.
Now, I mean, I kinda, the part that probably hit me the most was where he was saying goodbye.
Really?
So when she was saying goodbye to Zendaya. That's why I was like, damn.
Oh, the very like.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
they're not
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
see finally or something.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. Like the last 15 minutes of the movie, I think are perfect. I feel
It
like
was really good.
I feel like this is the closest we're ever gonna get to like a modernized Spider-Man 2 kind of movie.
His
we're like-
own like independent
Yeah, like, Where
spider.
yeah, every time like this is like Spider-Man's whole character, which I feel like the MCU didn't get right with the first two movies. Every time Spider-Man wins, Peter Parker loses. You know, like whenever Spider-Man prevails, like whenever he does his heroic thing, Peter always gets affected by it. Whether it means losing MJ, it means like having to break up with her, or like just losing Uncle Ben, like in the original movies. Peter always loses. But you know, that's what makes him Spider-Man. And I feel like the first two MCU movies didn't really get that. Like in Homecoming, the biggest like with great power comes with great responsibility thing was Peter going after the Vulture on the boat. And like you know the boat split in half and he had to carry it together. But then Iron Man came in and he helped him out.
Yeah,
Like-
so he kind of had someone like.
Like the whole thing about it, like the whole bad deal with it was that people almost got injured. Nobody got injured. People almost got injured, and like Tony's punishing him for it. Like that's nowhere near as much as like Andrew having to break up with Gwen because that's her dying father's last wishes. That's like nowhere near as impactful as that. In my opinion.
But so this movie I think was really good with that.
Yeah. I agree.
Because you know. Andrew, he lost Gwen. He started getting more violent with, you know, people. Because he said he was starting to pull his punches. That was kind of like his character like change.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just like, okay, yeah, Gwen was very, very important to him. But that's just like one person. Peter in this one lost everyone. Everyone.
By the end of the
No one
movie-
knows this person exists.
Well, yeah, let's think about it. Okay, 'cause in the first two MCU Spider-Mans, what did Peter have? He had Happy. So Happy could pretty much give him any spot, like any, I don't know, apartment or whatever. What are they called?
Yeah, Happy did provide to him a
Yeah,
lot.
he, like in this movie even, right? So Peter pretty much had like a good portion of Tony's money, so that got rid of the whole Peter being broke thing. Then Peter was able to pull MJ. MJ's whole character is that he's the girl that, or she's the girl that Peter would never be able to pull without Spider-Man, right? Like if he didn't have Spider-Man's powers, he would have never stood a chance with her. But then all of a sudden he gets them, and now like MJ's falling for him
Mm-hmm.
and all that. So, but like he knows that he can't stay with her because it's just gonna get her hurt, right? But he still goes after Zendaya. Zendaya helps him out. Ned helps him out. Like Flash doesn't even bully him in the movie.
Yeah, right? Come on. Should've bullied him more.
And then what do you call it? He wants to be more of like a friend, right? Like, but just like profit out him. Like,
Yeah.
He's
hi
using
friend,
it.
but like,
He's
yeah,
a fake
exactly.
friend. He's a fake friend, not a bully.
Chasing the clout.
Bro.
And also, Anime was like a joke character in those two movies.
in the first.
It was,
Yeah,
it was a
Homecoming.
lot of like fan service.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
okay.
in Homecoming and Far From Home, she never said one serious line. I
Yeah,
feel.
I don't think so.
Yeah, until of course.
Well,
When she
great
dies.
power comes
Yeah.
great responsibility.
Yeah, and she also did teach Peter like it is your responsibility to like take care of yourself.
Yeah, she did teach him like some life lessons about
Yeah, so I think this movie did get those characters right. You know,
they did get the aspect of like he
mentor.
needs that change, but this change still happens to be losing everybody in his life.
Mhm.
Mm. Yeah. Okay.
So,
What-
that's
what-
it. So this movie also is a great way to show the new like what is it? Are they doing another like trilogy?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
College years.
Yeah, college years.
How many is that?
Trilogy.
Three,
Why
yeah.
you say college?
Oh, it's because you know how this trilogy he was in high school the whole time?
Yeah.
In this next trilogy, he's gonna be in college.
Yeah.
So 3 movies of where he's in college.
College,
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty exciting for me, honestly, because like we just discussed that, yeah, he lost everyone, but he has like no one to depend on now, so he's his own independent,
So
self. He's his own like Spider-Man. Like I don't know how else to describe it. Like
yeah.
he has no one holding him back, but then again, he has no one really like motivating and pushing him forward except like himself.
Right.
So he's gonna change a lot in character, and I'm really excited to see that. And I'm really excited how they're gonna change the story because this is like a new slate.
Right.
Yeah, actually, now that you guys bring up like the future of Spider-Man's movies, that kind of like makes me wonder now. Okay, so they use Doc Ock, they use Green Goblin,
Yeah.
they use Electro, they use all of these characters, right? Are they gonna use them again in the MCU?
No.
No, you don't think they're gonna use them again?
There's a lot of other.
I know they tease Venom, but that's like one.
No, they tease all the villains when you see the world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
actually saw-
next one. Oh, what's that guy's name?
Craven.
Yes, thank you.
Craven.
Craven.
Yo.
Craven Hunter.
Yeah, I have a feeling I know what they're gonna do. They're gonna. I feel like this is one of the
There's
next
like
movies.
100 more villains.
They're gonna bring, I feel like they're gonna bring in the Kingpin. Because now since
I really want to see Kingpin.
yeah, since now like Spider-Man's kind of up more like in New York. He's not just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna deal with a lot more of that.
Yes, I'm very excited to see that.
I like to
He's
see
gonna
the fight.
expand out of
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah, that is kind of like weird though. We're gonna get a Spider-Man universe without his own Doc Ock or Green Goblin.
True, and
Like
like,
that-
if he meets people in the future, their name after them, he's gonna be like, wait a second.
He's gonna
Yeah, he's gonna be like, wait,
Yo.
yeah.
So how are you gonna do
So
that?
yeah, so I don't think they can use them anymore for this universe without making Peter stupid. But
I mean, well,
I mean, they kind of
we'll
Peter
see.
is kind of stupid.
No.
I was
He's
about to,
learning.
Yeah, he's evolving.
I was about to say like the future, right? But the question I had was like, you said there's gonna be one new villain, right? Craven.
I feel
Like for sure, yeah.
Okay, you know how like Doc Ock in like the final act he was saying they're all coming through, right? And you saw these silhouettes. I saw Craven and I saw the Scorpion.
I
Scorpion.
saw Scorpion and Rhino.
I didn't see Rhino.
Rhino.
Oh, well, I saw Rhino.
Oh, but Rhino wasn't in this No Way Home, so Peter has no idea about him.
What's called? Andrew Garfield briefly talked about him though.
Oh, I know
But
about
he-
Rhino.
But he said it was like
A Russian man and a
a Ru-
rhinoceros like
machine. What if this Rhino is more like comic Rhino? Where he's just a big dude.
Yeah, that could be it. It could be it.
Yo.
I think that would be cool.
Because yeah, it would make sense too why they like made Andrew not directly say a man in a rhino suit. Because then our Peter would like know what to look out for. I guess.
Or maybe they're just gonna do like what Spider-Verse and like pretty much all Spider-Man comics do, is they're just like henchmen for the Kingpin, both
It
the
could.
Scorpion and Rhino.
Oh.
Yeah, because that's also like in the video games.
Kingpin doesn't really do his own fighting.
No, he's like the mastermind.
Yeah, he's like a mastermind.
Mafia type thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so I thought the movie was a great
Yeah.
way of like moving on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Enemies, right? So there's gonna be 3 movies. So that means 3 different villains.
Yeah, perhaps.
Perhaps.
I mean,
maybe.
right?
Okay, go ahead.
Where you can on there, right? Like 3 different villains. And you said you saw Craven
Scorpion.
and
Scorpion.
Possibly right now.
Possibly. I didn't see Rhino.
Black Cat.
I saw him, but
Black Cat, Mr.
You saw the
I
whole.
really want to
Like
see
you-
Black Cat. I also think they're gonna introduce Silk, but I'm not sure. in this
Silk, oh my
one.
god.
Yeah,
okay.
because she is an existing universe with the
Bro, I
Spider-Man.
can't believe we just forgot about this, but they're also gonna do Venom. Remember?
Yeah,
Yeah, like an
Venom.
end credit scene where they just like.
Yeah, they're gonna bring in
dropped
Venom.
it. Yeah.
Oh,
Wait.
brand new Venom.
Venom, good guy Venom or bad guy Venom?
We don't know.
We don't know yet because it's just the symbiote.
Oh,
That's,
the one that leached off him?
yes.
Oh.
So we don't know yet.
That's kind of like the weird thing. I feel like they should probably do what Spider-Man 3 tried to do, but they rushed it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know
oh
what
my
you're
god,
talking
it's recording.
Oh.
Oh my god.
No, it is.
It is.
Turned off.
Okay, yeah, it turned. Yeah,
If anything, we
yeah,
have
okay.
live recording.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I didn't even think of anything at that last credit scene where he's in Mexico, right? And then
Yeah.
he leashes off and he just walks off the
You didn't get that part.
No, I'm like,
Bro.
okay,
Well,
well.
no, that
Yeah.
means that there's a symbiote of
Lurking around.
Yeah.
that little Venom going around trying
Yeah.
to find his next victim to
Host, right?
Yeah. So yeah, Parasite.
the parasite.
Yo, Venom versus Venom?
What?
What?
No, I feel like
There was. Oh, wait, no, no.
because these last 2 Venom movies, they tried to make Venom where he's kind of like a hero, and like
Oh,
that's so
yeah,
true.
yeah, Venom's first appearance is like he's not a hero,
Right, right.
He's
Yeah.
Spider-Man's villain, and maybe they're gonna I don't know if they're gonna do it because like I said, I don't really believe this Flash Thompson to be a bully. and in the comics, the Venom.
I kind of want them to use Flash for that Venom, like Loki.
MCU, but
Like that's the whole thing, because Venom attaches itself to Flash Thompson in the comics, and it becomes Agent Venom, right?
Yeah.
Like, y'all
oh
know that.
yeah.
But they're like Flash Thompson is like this jock. He's in the military. I don't see this Flash going to the military. I see this Flash
he's like a little brat, like a
yeah,
little.
he's a
Well,
yeah.
Spoiled.
let's say, yeah, he is very like spoiled and blah. Okay, so let's say that when they go to college, he does end up going to the MIT, because we also know that Flash is going into that.
MIT.
Actually,
So he can like bully him all over again, even worse.
actually, no, that just reminds me. Peter's not going to MIT.
Is he not?
No, everyone in Peter's universe forgot about him.
Does he not? He doesn't have any like.
No.
Wait a second,
Right.
because the lady he
He's
saved.
not even like registered in school anymore. Then.
Yeah, no, like Peter Parker pretty much never existed in this universe. That's the
You're
only way
right.
Doc.
He's like completely
Yeah.
like.
That's the only way.
Spider-Man or Peter Parker?
Peter Parker
Peter
does
Parker.
not
Oh, that's
exist.
so true.
So the colleges didn't accept him. They don't know this dude. His own
And he
high
doesn't
school
have any
doesn't know
records.
this dude. So like he can't go to MIT anymore. That's what made the last scene sad for me, because I saw the papers he had. I forget what the papers are called, but it's pretty much for high school dropouts, right? Because like the school forgot about Peter, so they,
Right.
you
They
know,
gave it
took
to
him out of it, right? So obviously he can't go to college anymore. That's what made the last scene sad, right? Like we might never
Well,
see
there
Ned
can be
or
a
MJ
event
again.
that they can show where Flash Thompson is introduced again in a different sense.
I mean, what do you
Different
mean, like
sense how?
another universe or what?
No, in the same universe, but let's say he does something other than college. Like he has like this like.
Glow up. because have you seen this dude? He's kind of like
Well, in this
Wah.
universe,
yeah, like kind of
he is like a Spider-Man lover, so that's also weird why he would want to fight Spider-Man. But he can gain jealousy, if that makes sense, of wanting to be Spider-Man. So when he gets like this new, like say like Venom does like overtake him, he just gets this like
The power
urge
to actually do something about
to
it.
do something about it. Yeah.
I think they're gonna go straight to Agent Venom and just give him to Flash Thompson, because if they do use Eddie Brock as like another, this is gonna be the third time they use him as a host. So I think they're just gonna give him to Flash Thompson.
I think so.
Because yeah,
Because he's in this movie. I don't think they introduce any other like Flashes.
yeah.
Yeah. It would only make sense.
So yeah, I feel like they have like a trilogy set out, and I'm honestly pretty excited for them, because I think Kingpin is one of my favorite characters, one of my favorite villains in Marvel, and they might also introduce Daredevil. You know.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
I don't
Daredevil
know.
is in this universe too. That's really sick. Yeah.
You know the Blind's lawyer that Peter had in the beginning of the movie?
Okay. Oh, the one that you told Happy you better lawyer up or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and dude,
Okay.
he caught the brick.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's Daredevil.
That dude, that's Daredevil.
That guy, the lawyer, is the
You
Daredevil.
know?
Yes.
Yeah.
You didn't
What?
know?
Wait,
I did not know that.
Are you serious?
Like that's what I was saying about this movie. Like if you're not like a complete nerd like us, are you
wouldn't
gonna
know.
understand any of this?
Okay, but how do you know? Like, what through it? Like, what did that dude do that you were like, oh, that's him?
Oh no, it's because
The way he
that
looks,
guy,
maybe.
Charlie Cox, he already has his own show.
He's
as
on
Daredevil.
Oh, on
Netflix.
Netflix.
Series.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I haven't seen it, but
Dude, it's
I
so
did.
good.
I saw
did
parts of
watch
it.
It's so
like
good.
the original like Daredevil movies.
Oh, dude, I watched the Daredevil. Dude, I used to watch it a lot as a kid.
Dude, yeah, I watched it like on repeat.
Get away.
I loved it as a kid.
Get away
Watching
from
it
me.
again, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
But like, I knew that was Daredevil. It was so like,
Yeah, it's
and I've
because
seen like trailers for the Netflix movie. So
let's just explain Daredevil. Okay, so Matt Murdock, he's this guy that got blinded as a kid by these chemicals. But
Yeah,
the thing
I
is,
heard about
Does he
that.
get, like,
those chemicals like heightens his hearing, his
Senses.
smelling. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's pretty much like a costume superhero now.
Like a blind superhero.
Yeah.
No, but like.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
blind, but
And
his
he- and-
senses are incredible.
And he's also a lawyer.
And he's
a really good lawyer.
And like,
Really good
but
lawyer.
like the way he fights is like through physical, right? Like
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah,
have
he's
superpowers.
very like
He's a ninja.
Thank you.
a ninja.
He trained.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw that in the show. When I saw part of the show, I don't know. I just kind of like
Yeah,
watched it
he
from a distance.
trained to like defend himself basically, but he got like super good at it, and
Yeah.
also a
Whatever.
really good lawyer.
Yeah, so I hope we have that Spider-Man and Daredevil tag team.
Yeah, I think that would be really sick.
Oh,
Wait,
two red man suits.
No.
Wait, Max, did your theater scream when
Yeah,
they
they
saw-
screamed.
Were you confused as why they
No,
screamed? They were
no,
why
like-
they screamed to this dude?
Wait, when he caught the brick,
No,
Yeah.
when
No,
you
we-
really see the
Daredevil.
walking-
When you see the
Weird.
cane, yeah, when you.
No,
Dude,
I
yeah.
don't think
You're-
anyone. I don't think anyone there like shouted like, "Oh."
Nah, my theater screamed. They're
They-
like,
No, I saw the
Real?
premiere, so everyone was going crazy.
Bro, no
It was
booty.
I was doing
Expected.
backflips.
What the-
No, okay. No, in my theater, I watched it with 6 other dudes. Right,
Oh my
we were the
God.
only ones reacting, so like the whole
Really?
theater had no idea what was
Damn,
going on.
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I felt kind
Again,
of awkward. But...
another thing about this movie, why it's so great that they both they please the nerds and then they please the movie fanatics.
I guess.
Yes,
Okay, but that's
yes.
that.
But
Okay.
yeah, the
I
movie
feel-
fanatic part like does like kind of make a little people mad who like love Spider-Man in the MCU because they're like, oh, they just did that for this. I'm like, yeah, but they
Yeah.
kind of have to.
Okay. That also just reminded me, like, to another point that I wonder, is this movie truly overrated? So,
No.
dude, it's
What?
almost 1:40.
Okay.
Wait, what time do we leave?
140.
110 plus
Yo.
30, 140. Oh yeah.
Yo, we gotta wrap this up.
Okay.
Okay. If
You scared
okay
me.
for
Oh, I
for like
know.
for the hype train, for the people that don't know any of these Spider-Man villains, any of these like comic references, anything, how good is the movie?
How good is the movie? Well, I can't like just like Axel.
Cameraman.
Axel hasn't even
Cameraman.
watched
He hasn't even
Yo,
seen
Axel,
it, man.
Okay, here's his camera.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So from what you heard about this, and
All the
not knowing-
spoilers, all the
um,
spoilers.
All these spoilers.
and
We
not
got 6
knowing
spoilers.
too
We're
much
spoiling
about
in
the
the beginning.
MCU, how, like, would you watch this movie, and what are your expectations into seeing this?
I would watch it, and I think it's gonna be pretty good because I did watch all the Spider-Man movies as a kid, so
Uh-huh.
I think seeing everyone back would be like really exciting.
See?
Ooh.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Well, what about like the hype trains, like the hype beasts who didn't, who know nothing about like Daredevil, all the previous Spider-Man?
mean,
Okay, I think they are pretty aware of Spider-Man, unless you're really, like, not in this world, if you didn't know that there's other Spider-Mans besides Tom Holland.
Mhm.
I guess just seeing them would be like, oh, that's cool, like, dimensions, they're
Yeah,
colliding.
I guess.
You know?
But,
Because, yeah, a lot of it you do have to know. This movie is a movie, I feel like you do have to know a lot to really, like, be intrigued in it. But if you're watching it just because the
Just-
hype,
Yeah.
I think they'll just be like, yeah, it's a cool movie. I don't
Yeah.
think anyone would be really,
Yeah.
like, mad at it for anything.
yeah, I guess so. But would it be like their favorite Spider-Man movie?
I mean, if
Well, I
that's the
think-
only one they've seen, probably.
Yeah, if that's the
Oh,
only
I
one they
guess,
see,
yeah.
probably, yeah.
True.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's a good point.
Thank you for listening to Overachieved or Overrated. This is our first episode. We might make more episodes.
Hopefully.
And I don't know, just comment. What do you guys want us to talk about?
And who's your favorite Spider-Man?
Yeah, who's your favorite Spider-Man?
Also, do you guys think it's overachieved or overrated?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause I think it is awesome.
It's good. It's good.
It's so good. I love it.
Very nice.
Well, all right. Thank you.
Bye.
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 No way.